Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories that are happening right now. And topping the list, a charity group rising from the ashes, literally. But this Phoenix story has taken a while and comes with challenges along the way. Now, we first learned about the fire damage to Catholic Charities on Dameron Avenue in North Knoxville back in November of 2021. The fire, ruled an arson, forced Catholic Charities to move its offices over to Gay Street. But the organization vowed that its services would continue. Fast forward to this morning in the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new building with interim diocese leader Archbishop Shelton Fobb in town to mark the occasion and see the completed project with a price tag of $2 million.
Today is a day of giving thanks for all that Catholic Charities of East Tennessee has endured, as you have heard, and have accomplished since the fire. In so many ways, as has been shared, that fire did not break Catholic Charities. It has made Catholic Charities stronger and even more determined to continue the mission of serving the most vulnerable.
The Catholic Charities world changed for good and for good. A lot happened in the 18 months of the rebuild. It took us a little longer to rebuild. The fire was hot enough that the steel had to be replaced on this side of the building. So steel was hard to come by. HVAC had to be replaced. When we thought we were going to open, we couldn't get an electrical panel. So I was like, oh my goodness.
You know, we also learned some new information about discoveries in the days after the fire. Catholic Charities revealing they first suspected an issue with the old building, like the wiring, until a gas can was uncovered in the rubble and a book of matches found on the lawn. So far, no one has been arrested, though, in connection with the arson. Our next Big 7 story, what happens if there's no deal? We're talking about, well, a deal to keep the federal government up and running. Our latest clue about the negotiations to avoid a shutdown, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy reportedly urging members of his party to accept a temporary extension, which for some on McCarthy's right would mean going back on their word. This is according to the Associated Press, reporting that the Speaker made the request during a closed-door session today. Now, McCarthy afterward telling reporters, quote, "I want to solve the problem," end quote. Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles is among the Republican holdouts.
Was your mind changed in there at all about a short-term spending bill? I know the leadership is trying to implore everyone to work as a team to try to get some conservative wins. How are you going to vote on Friday if the Speaker brings up a short-term spending bill?
Yeah, as of right now, I'm a no and will remain a no. My advice is buckle up. There's turbulence ahead.
Now that Friday vote would come the day before time runs out to keep the federal government open. Back here in Knoxville, we spoke today with the head of UT's Boyd Center about the prospect of a shutdown and the issues at play.
Every worker in those offices would potentially be out of a job, at least for a short period of time, and those services would be interrupted during the shutdown. We've seen this happen, unfortunately, in our past, and there's a very real concern that payments would not be issued on a timely basis. Those who are dependent on those sources of income would be left wondering how to make ends meet on a short-term basis. One hopes that any shutdown would be short-lived. I think people have responded fairly vocally in the past to these sorts of issues and have made their preferences known to our elected officials, that surely to goodness we can work out these differences and keep things operating.
Now, we've been wanting specifics about plans for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park if the shutdown comes to pass. Park referring us to the National Park Service. A spokesperson did not have anything to say at this time. Back in late 2018, though, and into 2019, the park had to navigate a partial government shutdown. Services kept going for a while through the holiday season until temporary funding ran out. From that point on, the park was still accessible, but bathrooms, visitor centers, and cleanup crews were furloughed. The park also stopped issuing backcountry campground permits. Of course, we're going to keep you posted as the latest shutdown debate rolls along. Well, a big decision in our next Big 7 at 7 story for you tonight. State leaders trying to decide if they will reject nearly $2 billion in federal education funding. Governor Bill Lee distanced himself a bit today from top leadership on this issue. Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton and Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally announced earlier this week they were putting together a group to investigate the feasibility of the idea. The governor did not say whether he'd support the potential rejection, but did say he was open to discussing it.
The federal government has had excessive overreach time and time again in the last few years.
The federal government was set up by the states. The states are the parents, not the federal government. And we should do everything that we can to be whole and autonomous and independent from the federal government.
According to state data, federal funding makes up a large part of K through 12 funding in every county. Moving down our big story list for you now, investigators looking into a fire at a cemetery and crematorium. A 911 call came in, it was around 2 o'clock, about a fire in the chapel area of Cremation Memorial at Grandview Cemetery in Maryville. We sent our crew to the scene, the fire chief telling us there was heavy smoke when they showed up, but fire crews were able to contain the flames and prevent the fire from spreading to other buildings.
There's quite a bit of structure damage, more in the attic. The crypt appear to be okay, so that's a good thing. And thank the good Lord nobody got hurt today.
Fire Chief McClanahan tells us the fire appears to be accidental, but as a precaution, Sheriff's Office is investigating what caused the fire. ORNL revealing an effort to ensure big technology is indeed safe. The lab diving deeper into its research surrounding AI with a new center dedicated to studying the threats it poses. Scientists will assess threats posed by the technology that could affect everything from your privacy to international security. Matter of fact, Edmund Bagoli is the director of Kaiser and says while AI has many uses that benefit society, the technology is also vulnerable to attacks.
We wanted to look into this problem and have a systematic scientific approach to, is AI a threat to humanity? Is AI safe to be used in any of these contexts as being used? Can it pose either a threat to us as individuals, or as a society, or can it malfunction in the ways it should not malfunction?
AI is not a new area of study at ORNL. Kaiser is an expansion of the lab's long-standing artificial intelligence for science and national security research initiative. Wrapping up our Big 7 list for you right now. Help is coming for several counties in Tennessee after severe storms and straight-line winds damaged areas in the state. And we're talking about, of course, the tornado on August 7th that hit part of the West Knoxville community hard in the Lovell Road area. Federal funding has been made available to state, tribal, and local governments and certain private nonprofit organizations for emergency work and the repair or replacement of facilities damaged by the severe storms. Now, Cumberland, Jefferson, Knox, Loudoun, Meigs, and Roane counties will all be getting a portion of this funding.